It's episode 78 of the Fitness Business Growth Podcast. This is part 5 of our marketing and sales systems. Trial closing, and objections. This series, mate, quite popular. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, millions of views on YouTube.
Millions and
millions.
If you divide it by about 1,000.
Yeah, a couple hundred.
Not
bad.
Yeah, my mum's watched it for sure.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So before we go ahead, mate, something amazing happened about 1 hour ago. So Mitch came over to my house and he's always putting shit on me. And I was wearing this pink brim hat. And he said, "Nice hat, mate." And being sarcastic, of course. So, well, man, I got to wear it outside for my balding head doesn't get cooked in the sun. About 35 minutes later on Facebook, I got my first ever ad for "Are you going bald? Would you like hair replacement treatment?"
It's a little bit scary, isn't it?
That's why we love the algorithm.
Yeah, it's a bit invasive though when you think about that. But yeah, it's pretty wild.
Gym owners just need to embrace the algorithm.
Yeah.
All right.
They need to have more people talking about their gym out loud.
All right. Well, let's get right into it. So just to recap, part 1 was offer is king. Part 2 was lead generation campaigns. And part 3 was booked calls and lead nurture. Part 4 was the sales script. So we pretty much read through the entire script up until the trial close. I thought we might try and leave a bit of a cliffhanger, like Lost in season 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of people just waiting for this to be released.
All right, so what we're going to talk about is we have just pitched the product. So the 3 core pillars: pillar 1, effective; pillar 2, enjoyable; and pillar 3, provide you with tons of support. So if you haven't watched that, then you're going to be completely lost. Now, I made a post earlier today. Something I'm extremely proud of is we have sold over 5,000 people in gyms the last 14 months. We haven't had one owner complain about our sales team being pushy.
Pretty good.
Our sales team being what you'd expect a sales team to be. Like, I haven't made a prospect feel uncomfortable. And I really want to put it down to the actual trial close itself, where we allow prospects to pretty much share their concerns and fears. And if you ask someone what their concerns and fears are before the card number, we're just literally handling the concern. If you try and cover the concern after card number, that's objection handling, and that's when the pressure comes. So, mate, do you want to expand on, I guess, the trial close?
So the trial close is them agreeing that what you have just pitched is something that could help them. It's not necessarily saying, yes, I want to sign up, here are my details, but it's then taking a mini step towards a sale. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. It's where they pitch everything and then it's kind of like,
well, let me know.
Like, so what do you think? Would you like to sign up? And then it's like, well, I'll just think about it. And then, these people can't.
I have to check the timetable and let you know.
They can't believe that they're not making sales.
Yeah.
So it really is make or break at this point, because you can do everything right until this point. And if you're not asking these questions or very similar questions to this, it's when the sale can almost get awkward.
Yeah.
You go through everything and then it's just like, shit, I don't know exactly how to ask for the sale.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, lots of fit pros just don't ask for the sale. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, people aren't going to say, "I'd love to sign up now. Would you like me to give you your credit card number?"
But you also don't want to say, "Would you like to sign up?"
Yeah,
so because that's a little bit too direct and probably isn't going to be received too well. So there is this in between part, and this is what we're going to discuss. Trial close.
And if you can nail the trial close, it's going to give you a lot of confidence to actually ask for the card number if you don't feel comfortable doing it. So just to be clear, the prospect knows the price.
They know everything.
So Sally, price is $60 per week. The 28-day challenge is $240. I've pitched pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3. At this point is when I would start the trial close. So does that all make sense, Sally?
Yeah, it does. It sounds good.
So notice, does that all make sense? Pause, upwardsly inflecting. I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious. Does this all make sense? So we'll do that again, mate. So Sally, does that make sense?
Yeah. And no, it sounds good.
Okay. Trial close number 2. Did anything stand out or resonate with you in particular?
I like that there's a lot of support, because like I mentioned earlier on, it's where I've fallen over before. So having that element to it is great.
And why do you think that's the key for you to be successful, to lose those 10 kilos, Sally?
Well, I just know in the past when I've tried to do it by myself, it hasn't worked. So I just need a bit more help.
So you feel as though that you do need some help to achieve that 10-kilo weight loss.
Yeah, I think so.
So notice what I've done then. Like, does anything stand out or resonate in particular? I got to shout out Brooke for that question, mate. She added that question. It's a fucking great question. Does anything stand out or resonate in particular? And the prospect's about to tell you exactly what they like about your program.
So if this again, like, I didn't know that was Brooke's edition, but it's a great question, because that's where, even if they haven't completely thought, what do I like about it? Why does this sound good? You're flat out asking them, like, was there anything that stood out? And then they're having to think for a second, because they're thinking, fuck, I didn't think he was going to ask me that. So then they think, well, what did we just talk about? We spoke about support. Yep, that's good, because I haven't had that before. Spoke about it being enjoyable. Yeah, like I want to have fun when I'm doing it, and I want results. So it's all of that. And quite often we'll hear people, they'll just say those same things back to us.
It's important that I enjoy it, and I feel like I need some support.
So they are speaking it into existence, and for the first time ever, talking out loud why this program is good for them and why it is suitable.
I remember I heard this quote from, mate. I love a good quote. It was like, if you're a salesperson, everything you say is false. And if you're a prospect, whatever you say is true. So whatever I've said, they think, is this guy trying to sell me? Does this guy want something from me? Everything I've said is false. But now I've asked them, did anything stand out or resonate? And they've told me what they like, so now it's true.
Well, if you were to say, does that all make sense? And then they say, yeah. And then you started to blurt out as a salesperson, yeah, like, it's really important that you get results because you want to lose 20 kilos.
I'm 100% this resonated with you.
Yeah. And, it's enjoyable because you said before, like, you're kind of going into sales mode again. But like Jayme mentioned, to flip that back and to have them actually say that to you, it's much more powerful.
Okay. The trial close 1, does that all make sense? Trial close number 2, did anything stand out or resonate in particular? And now we come home with the hammer. And I think of all the things that we learned in sales, mate, this was the most important question I was taught. Not sure where it came from. Don't know who to credit, but I love it. After you trial close them twice, you ask them one more final time. So Sally, like based on what you said, do you think this could potentially get you to your goal?
Yeah, I do.
And that's really nice to hear you sounding so positive. Like, what makes you say that?
Well, I think just the support element is going to be really great for me. Like I was just saying, before, when I haven't had that, it just hasn't worked out for me. So I think having some extra accountability will be what I need.
Okay. Cool. So understand 3 trial closes in a row. So I want to run that from the top. So I want to do all 3 trial closes from the top. So the end of the pitch. So if I could summarize, Sally, like what we really want to do is create some positive habits and some sustainable lifestyle changes. And what that means for you is that you'll reach your goal, you'll lose those 10 kilos, but we really want to ensure that you keep those results. Does that all make sense?
Yeah, it does. Sounds good.
And did anything stand out or resonate with you in particular?
I think just the support from you and the team will be really needed, because when I've tried to do it before by myself, it just hasn't worked out, and I've ended up reverting back to old habits. So having some more support will be great.
And outside of the support, like I know that's really, really important to you, Sally. Do you think this could potentially get you to your goal?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, having that extra support and having people there to help me in the sessions and help me stay on track will be really needed. And I think as well, just having something that's fun and enjoyable and something that's going to help me lose the weight that I need to as well.
Sounds like you're ready to make a change.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes. Mitch isn't giving me a lay down. Like that is what percentage of calls go that way? Like if they live in the area, the timetable suits, they have a goal, all of them almost.
Well, that if they need it and you get a good goal and you go through everything to get to this point, then that's kind of where you walk them.
So what I want to talk about now is a little bit more, I guess, in depth, which is like looping the trial close back and back and back. Because on the script, mate, as you can see there in big bold writing, if they don't give an emphatic yes, don't move on. So quite often you'll hear that people are like conflict avoidant, so they don't like conflict. So if you say, does that all make sense? Yep. Do anything stand out? Yep. Trial close, like potentially help you get you to goal? Yep.
you work through it, but as a salesperson, you're like, that wasn't a hell yeah.
It wasn't a hell yeah. We've been saying a lot lately, even for gyms that we bring onto our service. If it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no. And you want the hell yeah.
And at least for our salespeople, they've done more than enough reps to realize when they get to this point, if there is some uncertainty there, even if they are saying yes, makes sense, yes, sounds good, then they know that job's not quite finished. They need to hang there a bit longer.
So I'm going to put myself on the spot here, mate. We're going to trial close you again, and I want you to give me some false yeses. Okay, so Sally, like, does that all kind of make sense?
Yeah.
And did anything stand out or resonate with you in particular?
Yeah, no, it all sounds good. It all sounds good.
Just so I know, Sally, in particular, like what actually sounds good? Like, what did you like the sound of?
Just the whole thing, really. Yeah, just the workouts and it all sounds good.
Out of the 3 pillars, like effective, enjoyable support, like which one do you think is going to be the key to your success?
I guess the accountability.
Yeah, you mentioned before that you struggled.
Yeah, I think that'll be really helpful to have some extra support.
And why do you feel like that? Like, I know you mentioned it before, but like, why now today do you feel like that's important for you?
I just need it.
You need it?
Need a change, and before when I haven't had it, it just didn't work out for me.
So do you feel like you could do this on your own, or are you on this call because you know that you need some help?
Yeah, I need some help.
I'm going to stop showing off now. But that is how you loop and loop and loop and loop and loop and loop and loop. Because Mitch gave me a false yes. Now at this point, so fully understand, like, you need the support, like you do feel like you need some help, but do you feel like this program could help you get to your goal?
Yeah.
Sally, I need some excitement out of here. Do you feel like this could get you to your goal?
Yeah, no, I do.
I know it's been a while. I know you failed in the past, but like, you've booked this call, you've taken the time to chat with me for 10 minutes. The timetable suits, it's around the corner. You mentioned it before, you have to lose 10 kilos for this wedding. So do you feel like this could like get you to your goal?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Well, the next step, Sally, is just to grab some more details and to get you signed up. Like, how exciting.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the 4th trial close that we added into the script. How exciting. And then you pause again. So it takes a really strong person.
I was trying to be a bit difficult there.
It takes a really strong person to say, no, this does not sound like it could help me get you to your goal.
Yeah, and we still have people that we get to this point and we can't get over
Of
the line.
course.
And they're these people that would go through that, and then it would be like, well, like, I'm not ready now. And then you get into objection handling. But the majority of the people, when we go through that sequence and looping them back to what they've discussed earlier, looping them back to the 3 pillars, we're able to get those false yeses or that uncertainty into a more definitive yes, and something where they're ready to take that next step.
And more often than not, like, the concern will bring up, yeah, I'm so excited, but like, just so you know, like, I'm going away in like 2 weeks' time. Can I do 2 weeks before I go away in 2 weeks when you get back? Absolutely. Or like, I haven't got my card number. Can I pay by BSB and account number? Absolutely. Oh, I want to bring my kid to the sessions. You mentioned there's a crèche they can sit by the side, right? Absolutely. So it's inviting them to share all of their concerns before you ask for the card number.
Well, that's where concerns or objections, that's when they'll come up right here. Whereas if we don't go through that sequence there of the trial closes, you'll transition straight into collecting details. You get name, phone number, all that shit. And then you go, okay, and credit card. And then they'll say, oh, I'm not ready to sign up today.
Yeah.
I can't do this now. I'm going away. And then you're starting to have this, not an argument, but it's this back and forth of trying to like
it's definitely combative.
It is. And you're trying to justify yourself at the point where you're ready to jot down their Visa card number.
Yeah.
So,
and you're on the opposite side of the table when you want to be on the same side. And that's where you can handle it before you've asked for the card details. So again, like, I really do think that's probably been the biggest thing. I guess it was I learned from AP selling high ticket fitness was like, I didn't really know what a trial close was. I think I did it just instinctively.
I remember back when when I first learned sales, it was you have to get no, there was that, but it's like you have to get like 7 yeses throughout your presentation. So it's like, this is all like giving a gym tour and like, oh, do you see how this could help? And like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, see how this, like, these bathrooms You can see yourself sharing here, right? Like, yeah. And then if you get the 7 yes, I think it was 7, then it's like, okay, well, they've said yes 7 times, and then it's like they're just going to say yes another time.
And that was all good and well in 2012 Fit and Fast, but the consumer has evolved.
Yeah, same notion that you're trying to get them to make some sort of agreement to what you're saying earlier on. But this is a lot more succinct, a lot more thought out.
So if you do nothing else, I believe this to my core. You have your same shitty sales process. All you do is become an excellent trial closer, and you add that in, you are going to make more sales. However, if you don't do the work upstream, you're probably going to have to loop and loop and loop and loop.
And people want to know best lines to overcome objections. And I really believe if you're objection handling, most sales aren't going to go your way.
No way.
You are able to sometimes, have that one line or have that, smooth sentence that's going to help. But if they're talking about certain things after you've gone through all that, there's some stuff here you've missed, or maybe they're just not a good fit, but you have left out something here. You haven't found out some crucial information, because if it was about time, or it was about bringing their kid, or not having their credit card on them, or whatever, that should have come up earlier, as opposed to when you're trying to close the deal by collecting information.
I heard a great quote the other day. It was like, if your business is reliant upon a world-class salesperson to overcome all the objections because your product sucks or your service sucks, your business isn't going to last. So I could probably bully people into a sale. Well, not probably. I used to, and I'm embarrassed about it, to be honest. Because my conviction and belief was so strong, but it doesn't mean that they became a good customer. Imagine that sour taste in the mouth when they first get off the phone call. Oh, I'm going to see that guy again, do I?
Yeah. And that's where, like you said at the start of this, we haven't had anyone complain about hard selling or pressure sales, because we're asking all these questions after we've had a really good conversation with them.
And it's probably one of the biggest concerns I get from gym owners. It's why I posted live call recordings, because I cannot explain to them just how non-invasive our sales process is.
No,
and if you combine this with the offer is king, with great lead generation campaign, with great lead nurture where they've been to your Instagram, they've been to your website, they've seen the timetable, they have a 10-minute call, you trial close them. It shouldn't be a surprise that we make sales for gym owners.
No, and it should also not be a surprise that other people who don't have a script like this don't, because there is a lot to it. You're going to have a certain amount of people who would sign up to anything, but that is quite a small amount.
Yeah.
Truly, by the time that our team have gone through this whole sequence and this whole process with them, these ones that, are very agreeable probably wouldn't have been if we didn't go through all everything before that.
Yeah. And 10% will always say yes, no matter who's on the phone. 10% will always say no. Your job as a salesperson is to collect as much of that 80% as possible. And they all need to go through a process. So I'm super proud of this, mate. We've brought in girls. We've brought in girls with no sales experience, people with sales experience, PTs that had no over the phone sales experience. We've got new girls starting at the moment, and this script is I say it all the time, but the 3 core pillars and the trial close is the number one reason why we can do what we do.
Yeah, thanks, AP.
Thanks, AP. Okay, so the next start is, so we got the emphatic yes. We're really certain they're going to join up. And then we want to collect details and finalize the sale. So, okay, Sally, the next step is to grab some more details and to get you booked in for your very first session. How exciting, the last trial close. I have your name, your phone, and your email. Can I please grab your date of birth?
1st of January, 1970.
So we don't need the date of birth, but we grab it for what
Sometimes
reason?
But yeah, we want to ask a few more questions here, so they are getting in the habit of answering your questions and providing information for you. So when it comes time to ask them what card do you want to use, it's just another answer in the sequence of questions that you've had.
So after date of birth, can I grab your address, please, Sally?
Yeah, 1 Smith Street, Newcastle.
Cool. Awesome. And can I please organize a card number, a Visa or MasterCard?
Visa, I'll just grab that out.
Great sound, great sound. Okay, we organize the full payment of $240 today and pause.
Okay.
Cool. Now, I want to go over that again. So I mentioned before that the weekly cost is $60 per week pause. The total cost is $240. Before I grab the card number, I don't start talking about payment details, frequencies, paid in full payment plans. I grab the card number. I've got the card number. The sale is done. We organize the full payment of $240 today and pause. And more often than not, cool, no worries at all. But occasionally they will then say, oh, like, can we actually like break it down into weekly payments or fortnightly payments, or like, can I pay tomorrow? But what bad salespeople do is, yep, so Sally, you have all the options of how to pay your program, what works best for you. And only an insane person would rather give you more money today and not keep it in their account.
We get a bit overwhelmed if you say, well, you can pay weekly, fortnightly, like we can do it all today or all another day. People can turn around and say, oh, I'm not sure, I'll let you know.
Yeah, go talk to my partner about that.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you've lost the sale.
Yeah, so
Truly.
So say it like that. I had the stat that 74% will say, no worries. The other 28% will literally say, oh, that's okay. Like, can I pay tomorrow? Of course they can. No problems at all. And then from there, that is how you grab the details.
We've noticed that when we've had newer reps starting out and you know, they start calls.
Or you get those first call nerves.
Yeah, and they'll all, pretty much all of them will start with sales that have payment plans. And then you review the calls and they get, everything is great until this point, and then they say, we organize payment today of $240 or weekly payments of $60. And then everyone says, oh, I'll just pay weekly. Because most people, very few people just want to get it over and done with. They would rather have a bit of cash flow on their side. So just not even stating that option unless they bring it up is really important.
Yeah, so just again, we organize the full payment today and then just like pause and just stay silent. I know it's difficult. I know it's uncomfortable. And they'll just say, yeah, cool. That's it. That's no problems at all. Or if they do bring it up, no worries at all. Either either. It's win-win. Okay. So let's go into some objection handling. And this is where the objections, the real objections, tend to come up, because you can be the world's best trial closer and then you will still get to this point. Can I have your card number? And now we get the objections.
Yeah, and the idea is we lessen how many we get at that point because the trial closes, but we still get them. Obviously.
Of course. Cool. So we're going to start with probably one of the most common objection I would say would be, I need to think about it. So Sally, can I please just grab a card number, a Visa or MasterCard?
Yeah, it'll be a Visa, but I just need to think about this first. Just need to think about it.
Cool. Completely understandable. Before you go, Sal, is there anything in particular that you want to think about so I can send you more information to help you make the best possible decision?
Yeah, it's just the cost. And yeah, I just don't really know. Yeah, if that's going to kind of work.
Yeah. So besides the cost, is there anything else?
No, it all sounds great. I just want to make sure I can afford it still.
Cool. And it's the weekly cost or the total cost that's concerning you?
It's more the total cost, or just a bit more than what I thought.
I mentioned before that we can break it down into weekly payments. The other option too, Sally, is it's completely normal that you do want to think about it, and sometimes it can be challenging to make a decision on this call. So as opposed to doing the full 28 days and that total cost, what we could do is just organize your first week in the program, which would be $60. At the end of week 2, if you don't want to continue, you can just let me know. Or if anything changes between now and then, you can also let me know. That way, because Sally, I just do want you to make the right decision for you. But based on what you've told me and your goal that you want to achieve, I think that may be the next appropriate step. Does that sound fair enough?
Yeah.
So you're okay with just doing 1 week and then second week we can decide?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. You really threw me off then. You threw me off. So the reason being, like, I need to think about it, and cost is very different.
Yeah.
But Mitch threw me a real curveball there. So I want to do that again, because I need to think about it. It's just like, I just don't make fast decisions. Okay, so let's do that again.
Apologies.
Sweating over here.
Handled it well still, mate.
Yeah. So I need to think about it. So Sally, can I just grab a card number, Visa or MasterCard, please?
Yeah, I don't really, I don't normally, make the decision straight away. So I probably just want to, have a bit of a think about that.
Yeah, of course. Like, you should absolutely think about it. Completely understandable. Like, before you go, is there anything in particular that you want to think about so I can send you more information just to help you make the best possible decision?
No, I think it's just always just want to have a bit of think about it before I commit to anything.
Yeah, cool. And in regards to committing something, is it just yourself getting to the sessions? Is it the cost? Is it chatting to your partner? Like, what is it? What is it?
Yeah, probably more my partner. We just kind of normally talk about this a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, at Punch Life Fitness, like 100% of our members are women, and lots of them have partners that they want to run by too. When I buy things, I run it by them too. So in this situation, instead of doing 28 days, we can just get you booked in for the first week instead. That way you can dip your toe without making a larger commitment. This way you can ensure this is the right decision for you. You can also have a chat to your partner between now and your first session. Sound fair enough?
Yeah.
Let's go again. If it's still a no-go.
Yeah. No, I think I still just want to talk to him about it.
And is it more for permission or support?
I think he'll support me, but we just always talk about this.
So just more of an FYI.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, as opposed to doing 1 week, we can just get you booked in for your first technique session because those spots fill up fast. So Sally, between now and then, if your partner does not want you to go through with it at all, we can just cancel that first session. But Sally, we've just built on so much momentum on this call. You told me you want to lose 10 kilos before the wedding. Like, there's no harm done either way. Would you be opposed to doing that?
No, that sounds good.
Cool. You threw me off again. You're supposed to say I don't make decisions.
It's like you put that other one in my mouth.
All right, cool. So guys, think about it like, what are your thoughts on think about it?
Think about it. Why I answered him that way, I wasn't trying to be a dickhead. I just feel that sometimes with think about it, it ends up resulting in
other things.
It's another thing. So what do you actually need to think about? Well, it's normally one of the other objections.
Yeah. So just to jump in there. So besides wanting to think about it, is there anything else? And that's when they tend to bring up their partner.
Yeah. And that's why I brought it up then.
Yeah.
So another way that you can approach this, and it depends on, we can't really do it because we're selling for other gyms, but if you've got such amazing faith in your service and your delivery, you can say, hey, let's get you set up. Come in, do your first workout, do your first onboarding session, do your first, whatever. If you hate it and you don't like me, my breath stinks, I'm chasing around with a whip and it's totally not what you thought it was, I'll give you a complete refund, every single dollar.
Cool.
I think that is also really powerful. And again, we don't really do that, but I think if they're able to, if you got, and everyone that we work with has amazing faith in their services. So I think something like that can be helpful as well. But this is getting such into the nitty gritty. Like,
yeah,
I feel like most people by this point we have been able to handle, but that's something to have up the sleeve as well.
Cool. So now we'll go into like an actual, like the objection is I don't need to think about it. It is I need to talk to my partner. So Sally, can I just grab a Visa or MasterCard, please?
Yeah, before I do that, I'll just need to talk to my husband about that.
Yeah, cool. Completely understandable, Sally. The majority of ladies want to do the same thing. I would ask my partner. Just so I know, are you asking for permission or more of an FYI type of thing?
More FYI. We just always talk about things before before we do anything like that.
And besides running it by your partner, is there anything else?
No, I just, like I said, just want to talk about it with him first.
Yeah, of course. No worries at all. It's normal that you want to run it by your partner. I can tell how important this is for you to achieve your goal of losing 10 kilos so that you can feel better about yourself and be at your son's wedding and be that happy person that you know that you want to be. So what happens here is, spare with me, I lost where I am now.
So I'll just stop you there for a sec. So besides running it by your partner, is there anything else? And the line of questioning before, which was something to the same effect, is there anything else? That's just isolating the objection. Because what you don't want to happen, if you don't ask that question, and then if you do overcome this, and then they say, yeah, I just don't know if I'll be able to make the sessions, or I just don't know if I can force it. Then
Yeah.
it's like you're handling one objection after another. So that's where you say, besides this one thing, like, is everything else good?
Yeah.
And then it's like, then you can isolate that and talk about that.
And going back to the objection, so like, for example, we'll start again. Besides running it by your partner, is there anything else?
No, that's just want to talk to him
Cool.
first.
Of course, no worries at all. It's normal that you'd want to run it by your partner. I can tell how important this is to you to achieve XYZ goal for XYZ reason. Our new people don't start until the following week. We'll like to start new people on Monday or Tuesday, Sally. So in this situation, we can still get you booked in for your first session. If you chat to your partner tonight and for whatever reason he decides you or both don't want to do this, we can simply cancel the enrollment and the payments. Does that make sense? That's how you handle it.
Yeah, which works a lot for us. So that's
100%.
That's different to what I was just talking about before. It's like, well, let's get you set up, and quite often, it's just a way that they're trying to avoid the decision, and then they make, and then it's a soft close, but then they're all set up, they're all booked in, and if you were to go down this path and they say it sounds good, then you just continue on with the sales
Regular
that they've made.
process.
You're not saying, hey, by the way, let me know if you don't want to do it. You address that, and then you just say, great, well, let's get you booked in. Really excited.
You mentioned before that, like, because we sell for gyms over the phone, they can't come in and look first. We actually have a few people do it.
Yeah.
So this is the objection here. Can I come down for a look first? And we use this for our gyms.
Yep.
Right. So understand they don't want to come down for a look first. This is a classic stall. If you invite them in for a look first, the chances of them no showing that look is so incredibly high. This is the exact way we handle it. The gym is closed outside of session hours, and when sessions are running, the trainers are with clients, which is why we do enrollments over the phone. It's normal that you want to come in first and have a look at the situation. If you're still unsure, we can simply enroll you for a 1 week, a 7-day, no sweat guarantee. If you don't like the first week, we'll cancel the remaining 3. Absolutely nothing to lose whatsoever. That way you can pop down. We can have you start that first session. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And it's a more challenging one to overcome, I think. But that is exactly how you would go about it. And you can make a bit of a joke around, like, well, there's nothing really to look at.
Yeah.
Like, or I used to say, well, we have our members working out at the time, trainers are busy. It's not really a spectator sport, but it's just an open area where everyone's exercising.
Yeah. One good thing too is, like, if you send them like your timetable, pictures of your facility, your Instagram, your website, they've looked at the facility.
They've seen it.
Right. Next one. I want to try one session before I can.
Sorry, I'll just stop you there. One thing you can say at that point too is, is there anything you're looking for specifically? And then they say, like, oh shit, never been asked that before. Yeah. Oh, what? Got kettlebells? Yeah, we got kettlebells.
No, I just want to see where I park. Yeah, you just park in the car park.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I want to try one session before I commit to the 28 days. Of course, that makes perfect sense. A lot of people want to do that first, besides wanting to try a first session. Do you have any other questions besides just wanting to do that first session?
Isolating that one?
Yep. So that's no, Sally?
Oh, no, sorry.
Yep.
Nope.
In this situation, what I recommend is doing 1 week instead of one session. That way you can attend 2 to 3 sessions and get a great feel for the program and the trainers. It's hard to judge one session. At the end of the week, if you don't want to continue, I completely understand. And if you do, fantastic. You are well on your way to lose those 10 kilos so that you can feel better about yourself. I fucking love that one. It is such a good overcome. And notice that's like written down, and I've read that off the script word for word. So, like, you can be a naturally good salesperson, or you can just follow the script.
Yeah, and you'll do well following that word for word, as long as you don't sound like a robot. But that's exactly it. It's like, well, one session ain't going to do you much good. And for the people, like I said, this is our sales process. But for people, if they're doing this themselves, again, you should have such confidence that if they come through and they meet you and they do a first session or they do the consultation, then they're going to be there for the rest of the time.
They just forget about it.
Yeah.
Like there's objections and there's stalls. Like, they are stalling.
And they're not going to not like it.
No. No one
unless you've got a shit program.
Yeah. So can I come into club and make the payment? So again, like, we sell over the phone for other gyms. We did this for our gyms. We take payment over the phone because the studio is open, sessions are running, and we don't have FPOS facilities, which was true. I'm in front of my computer right now setting up your enrollments. Can I please grab that Visa or MasterCard? And then Sally would say, I just don't feel comfortable giving details over the phone. Fully understand. all our members felt the same way before enrolling over the phone. It makes perfect sense. I can assure you that we are safe and secure with your details. We're an established business that we've been open for years and years, and you will get a receipt as soon as I do it over the phone. Can I please grab a Visa or MasterCard? Sally says, no. Did I tell you we can use your BSB or account number instead? It does not have to be a card number. Do you have internet banking? So at that point, like, you will get the details unless the person has been scammed before. And I will add in, you can literally, have you been scammed before? Oh, no, I haven't. Oh, okay. Like, completely understand your concern, but like I haven't been scammed before.
Yeah. And I think it's important at this point to say this is how everyone gets enrolled. This is what everyone does.
Normal. Everyone does it. Members felt the same way.
Yeah, it's all the same. This is what we always do. We're an established business. We've been open for 9 years, however many years you've been open. You know, we're there at that address. Like, we're legit.
Yep. One thing that we have been doing too, and like I never did this with our gyms, like, so our sales team will use a payment link through Stripe. And I didn't even know this. You can use Apple Pay or Google Pay.
Yeah.
So for example, no problems at all. I'll quickly send you a payment link right now, text through, name of the business, Stripe link, and they literally double click their phone and it goes through Apple or Google Pay.
And pro tip for that one is do it while you're on the phone with them.
Well, yeah.
So
sorry, I should have said that.
Yeah, not complete it after, but say, hey, I've just sent you through that. Like, I'm just going to pop you on speaker. If you want to pop me on speaker, did you receive that link? Yep. Okay, so you just open that up and then see, it has everything there that we just spoke about, 28 days, 240. Now all we need to do is just double click the side button on your phone and then I'll get confirmation of that and that'll get you into our system.
Yeah. So it's pretty in-depth, like trial closing, going through all the objections. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm a terrible objection handler because I don't really get them that much.
Well,
like you shouldn't get them.
We don't talk about these objections with our team very often.
No.
Every now and then, like, there'll be certain people, or sometimes it's a bit across the board where it's like, oh, I'm getting this, and then we refer to this thing and it helps. But quite often we find that they're missing something earlier on.
Yeah.
So that's where, if you are going through the script that we discussed in the first few videos here, and then you're trial closing well, you're getting a hell yeah or a hell nah.
Yeah.
And if you are going in and fighting with these objections, I mean, we don't know the percentage.
It's also a terrible feeling. It's a terrible
job. You don't want to have to do this.
No.
And if you are going through all that, then it's likely that they're too polite to say, I don't want what you're selling.
Yeah. What threw me off before with cost, right? Like occasionally, like if you've gone through the process and you've asked, what have you tried previously? And they've been F45 before and they know the price is 50. And at the end of the call, they give you a cost objection. 99% of the time, it's like a logistical, like I haven't got the money. I cannot afford it. And at that point, the worst thing you want to do is try and overcome logistics with fear and make that person feel terrible because they're poor.
Yeah. And that's where you would put to them, oh, well, we can do it weekly,
yep,
or fortnightly, or we can pay on payday. We've always found that to work well. But I think the old school, or even if you listen to other people now.
I hate that. There's a stupid acronym of like, how many coffees do you have a week? How many cigarettes do you buy? How much alcohol do you have? Well, if you add all that money up, you'll see that you'll be like, I hate that so much. You are not a financial planner. You have no right to plan someone's budget on a 15-minute phone call.
Yeah, you're going to tell them to stop drinking coffee and stop going out with their girlfriends so they can afford this. Yeah, that just ain't been working. And I think if they truly can't afford it, you shouldn't sell them.
No,
like if they say, hey, like I'm not going to be able to, I can feed my kids this week. Like, don't buy this shit. No. Go and feed your kids.
Go for a walk. One thing I will say is occasionally I'd get someone over the line and I felt like they were a possibility of pulling out or refunding or not wanting to go through with it. So, Mitch, what did I do about 500 times? I would text you instantly.
So, Jayme would do... I also did the sales for us, but Jayme did most of them. And if there was ever someone who was a bit iffy on, he would send me a text straight after and say, I just spoke with Sally Smith. Had a really good call. She wants to lose weight. Can you please send her a text? I'm just a little bit unsure if she's going to pull the pin.
And you introduce yourself?
And I say, hey, it's Mitch from Breakthrough Active. Just spoke with Jayme. We're both really excited to have you start next Monday at 4:15. We've had a lot of ladies like you kick off lately who are wanting to lose weight. And, we're really pumped to have you on board. So I'm excited to meet you. I'm going to get you into the members group. Here's the link. Jump on there. And we'll look forward to seeing you
And now she's cancelling on 2 people. And if she gets in the members group, have a pinned post of one of your best transformations, tag them in the comments, looking forward to Monday 4:15, and your ride or dies, your top 10 members will comment, welcome Sally, welcome Sally, welcome Sally. Then all of a sudden she's cancelling on us and 10 members. So it's something that I did actually a lot, right? Like a lot, where like it's not just about the sale, it is reinforcing that they made a really good decision. Facebook group's great. Send them links to follow Instagram, follow Facebook, especially if they are skeptical, like, hey, are you a scammer? Or like, do you even exist? Like, reinforce that decision.
Yeah, which is not as likely with actual gyms or physical locations. Online was when we've done that, it's been a little bit more like that. But if you can get someone, whether it is a team member or if you've got a business partner, and then use that Facebook and your social media to your advantage, that can really help reinforce things. And then before then, like they're nervous, right? They're anxious.
Yeah.
We get it. So if you can help ease some of that anxiety, if you can refer back to someone else legitimately and say, hey, we had another lady, Sandra, who also wanted to lose 20 kilos like 3 months ago. And she's
We had a
lost
lady
10.
with one leg come into our program, you
Yeah.
remember? And she joined around the COVID time and she was amazing. She had a full prosthetic leg and she was in the gym. She was on the rower, on the bike, doing stuff. Amazing. And I would refer like, hey, like, I don't care how out of shape you are. We've had a lady come in with one leg. Like, you can do this.
And you might not have someone with one leg, but I'm sure you have someone who has been severely overweight, has had some sort of terrible injury that they're overcoming. And you don't need to say their name necessarily, but if you say, hey, there's another lady who started and she was 210 kilos and really proud to say she's down to 150 after a year or whatever it is. But if you can legitimately recall on an experience where someone has achieved a great result and you can say they were just like you when they started, they were really, really nervous.
And
anxious.
Bonus points if you connect them on Facebook. Bonus points. Because that person will go into bat for them because they were them and they were scared too.
That's right.
So, mate, one other thing I guess I want to cover is all of those, call them stalls. Like, I don't want to give my cutters over the phone. I want to talk to my partner. I want to think about it. That's all they are. It is one last opportunity to kick this can down the road. And I want you to see through that they are 99% of the times they are stalls. Because the second they give you their card number, you'd laugh at this. We did sales in the same room together. I would, oh yeah, like, what are you doing this weekend? Like, you go from salesperson to like, what are you doing this weekend? And all of a sudden, like, you go back to like, I'm their trainer, I'm their coach. And then I'd always end the call with like, are you excited? Like, yeah, I am. I'm really, really nervous. And that was it every time. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm just really, really nervous. And whatever they spoke about, they actually forget. Now they've made the decision. They've committed. I have their card number in their mind. There is no going back. And that is why you have to grab details over the phone. That's why you don't let them come in. You don't get details later on. Like, if you have to, fair enough. But like it happens so rarely.
Well, there's stalls because people are just afraid of making decisions. There are a lot of indecisive people, and they just I need to think about talking to my partner. All those normal objections, they're just the default of what to say. It's like if you've got someone who's indecisive, say, "Hey, do you want to? What are you doing 2 Saturdays time?" Oh, I'll let you know.
But if you said,
"Oh, you want to do something? I'll let you know."
Do you want to go to the movies or time zone in 2 Saturdays time?
But it's just the default response. It's just like, oh, I'll let you know. And that just comes down to the person. So if you can overcome that and you can get them to take a mini step, and then if you get details, they've forgotten.
Yeah.
It's almost, and we won't talk about it. Some of our sales team, they almost just ignore objections. Not ignore them completely, but they
you want
just
to think about it, of course. Like, you have 4 days before you start.
yeah, and then they say, yeah, great. We just it's completely normal. Everyone wants to think about it. We'll just get you set up here now, and just need to grab your date of birth, and then it's like, oh, and then they get it
because you just normalize it. This is the next step. So I'm going to end this objection handling training by saying that, like, you need to pre-handle them.
Yeah,
you need to pre-handle them. You need to trial close and trial close and trial close and loop them and loop them and loop them until you get the emphatic yes. When you ask for the card number, then whatever you do when you get an objection, be nice. Don't be combative. Normalize it, whatever the objection is, and then overcome it with a logical reason why they should continue down the path.
And like you said before, you're not, and I'm not. We're not good objection handlers. We truly aren't. What we are good at is everything up until that point, because, and we don't know the percentage, but we don't really get that many objections. And if we do, it's like probably legit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if you get an objection, for me, I really like, from the majority of times, it's logistical. Like, mate, I've got no money.
Yeah, or like, listen, I've got my child, and I don't know if they're going to sit
Yeah.
against the wall and watch
Or,
me work out for 45
I shouldn't
minutes.
have booked this phone call. It's horrible timing. I'm going away for the next 8 weeks.
Yeah, or I've got a bad knee, and I'm seeing the surgeon in 2 months.
Yeah.
So it's less about that. We wanted to go through objection handling because it is part of the sales script.
Get some clicks, mate.
But it's right. Everyone wants the magic line. But you'd be surprised how infrequently we discuss this with our team. Truly, it's just leading up to that point. And Jayme does this. It's his role to review calls and talk to the team. It comes down to the trial closes, and then that process about getting those details, and then you can do everything right, and then if you present the price wrong, or you don't say it's $240 today, or if you say, or you can pay next week, or let me know, or something like
Would
that.
you prefer to pay by a card number or payment link?
And then, payment link, just email me the link. Yeah, I'll email you the link, and then email goes to spam, and they don't even see it. So everything can be good until that point, but that's where there is that crucial step with the trial closes, and then actually getting details, confirming payment, processing payment. That's where so many sales will be lost.
100%. Well, guys, I really do hope that you enjoyed this series. We've got one more, mate, or maybe two more. I think next one's going to be onboarding. We've covered it before, but I want to cover it again. And then number 7 will be retention. And then I guess for us, guys, we talk about what we want to do a lot, and we do the thing. So we do all this for you. And if you don't want us to do this for you, then we really do hope that I put so much time into this. I really do hope that
if somebody watched all this and then
that's what I mean.
took all this,
we give away everything,
and they never gave us a cent, and it would be nice if they told us, just so
just subscribe on YouTube.
Well, but if they said, hey guys, I followed everything and it's really turned around my sales process, I'd be like, great.
Fuck yeah.
But they probably wouldn't say that. So, but if someone did follow all this and they got results, that would make us really happy. I would be very happy to hear that. Even if we didn't get 1 cent from a member, it would be it'd be nice to know that some of this very, very, very valuable information that we've learned over 12 and a half years.
I got my cert through in 2008, mate. Well, it's that horror. I got that ad in the comment, mate. It was, hey, mate, no more hot air. And now we try and make content that isn't hot air, because a lot of it is hot air.
You took this personally.
I do it, not personally, but it's I'm just making stuff for the sake of it. But just we really do want to be as tactical and as nuanced as possible, as opposed to, you got to have a good community. You got to have a good vibe.
Well, it's just not
that helps no one.
It's just not rah-rah. These are actionable things and actual steps that you can take to improve your sales process to get more people inside your facility.
Yeah, if someone picks up the phone and they read the words on that page, they'll make more sales.
And we've done the same.
You've got to fix your sales mindset.
Got to want it.
You got to want it.
You got to want it. You got to hustle, brah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to end it, right? Because a lot of it, there's people in two camps where it's mindset versus this is what to do. And I think you improve your mindset by doing it. Because I do the sales for our business, right? And you even see me. I'm up and down like every salesperson ever. But the more I do the thing, the better my mindset is.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, it's a whole another conversation.
Could be part 8, mate.
Yeah, it's about, and there's 2 schools of thought, and that's for a lot of things. It's you've got people who just go in and work out and eat pretty good, and then you've got other people that are trying to find the perfect program, and they're trying to find the perfect nutrition plan, and they're doing all the hacks to help with their.
I've used this example before. It's my least favorite advice ever given by a fitness business coach, and it was how good's Apple? How good is Apple? Every year they release an iPhone and they've got people waiting outside their store at 3 a.m. to get the new iPhone 15 Pro Max. That's what your gym's got to be like. Yeah, mate, you're going to have people waiting outside my gym at 3 a.m. on winter, waiting to get into the 5:15 session. So like a lot of the advice is it's rah-rah. It is hot air. It is mindset stuff. And we really do want to make content where like do these 3 things and X will occur.
Yeah, I hate when you, not that I lose respect for them or anything, but when you hear, and I hear people I like look up to and they're talking about, look at Apple, look at Tesla, look at Microsoft. I'm like, well, fuck. Like, this is not Microsoft.
No.
This is the little fucking gym that you've made 2 years ago, slapped a sign on the front, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking your gym here. It's not
It's not
Microsoft.
the same, right?
No, like nowhere near as like our like small group training facilities are the lowest form of business. Like they're you financed it, you bootlegged it, you paid it from your savings. It's not a global entity that half the world have on their computer system,
No,
and the other half have the other one.
because
Apple.
Apple bought Beats, and Beats was created by Dr. Dre, and LeBron James became a co-owner in it.
So anyone who starts talking about these big businesses and you need to structure, things like them, whether it's your marketing campaign, your sales process, having your org chart, like there's all these things that just aren't.
You need to solve today's problem, and today's problem is that you probably aren't generating enough leads, and you aren't having enough sales. Because the majority of gym owners I talk to, mate, none of them have a retention problem. None of them have a retention problem.
And if you've got a problem with your org chart, if that's the biggest problem you have, like you're doing really well. Yeah, you've got a great business. It means you're getting a lot of clients, you're having them stay a long time, you're delivering great service, you've got good staffing. It's like if you've got a problem with who's in middle management and what's the sales director doing and the marketing manager, then don't listen to this shit. Like there's other people you can learn off.
Yeah, we help you get 100 extra members. That's what we do.
Yeah, and if
you're at 50 members, we get you to 150. At 150, get you to 250. If you're at 250, mate, you got enough members.
And we can help do it for you, or you can listen to all this stuff and give it a red hot crack by yourself. And I really like to think you'd see some good.
And I do get really excited over subscriptions. 172 on YouTube and counting, mate.
172.
Pretty good.
It's nearly 200.
Yeah, I know. So even now, I launched a YouTube channel, 10 million subscribers overnight. I've just become the world's best soccer player.
We've only been doing this about 2 years, so it's about, what's that? 80 a year.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Have a lovely
Bye, everybody.